Good day. My name is Nathan R. De Baldinado, and for my oral presentation, I'll be discussing thermopaste, more specifically, its history, chemistry, and why it's important. So, first of all, a brief introduction on what thermopaste is. At first, thermopaste may seem like a small component, but it plays a major role in preventing hardware damage and maintaining system performance. Because thermal paste is a liquid material invented in the early 1990s to better the heat transfer between a heat source, which is a CPU or a GPU, and a heatsink/cooler. It is a material specially used in gadgets like PCs and laptops to prevent the overheating of the CPU or the GPU. And in fact, early CPUs melt in under 10 seconds without proper cooling. In the 1990s, thermal paste was primarily composed of silver, aluminum, or copper. These metals were chosen not just for their availability but also for their high thermal conductivity. At the time, the focus was mainly on improving CPU performance and avoiding crashes due to overheating. But now, in the 2020s, we have different types of thermal paste like metal-based, liquid metal-based, ceramic-based, carbon-based, diamond carbon-based, and finally, silicon-based thermal paste. Now to elaborate on the chemistry behind them, of which the first is metal-based thermal paste. Metal-based thermal paste is primarily made of silver, copper, and aluminum metal powders, mainly because of their high thermal conductivity. Thermal insulators sometimes happen when tiny air gaps form between a CPU and a heatsink, and using metal-based thermal paste will fill in these gaps. And since metal conducts heat better than ceramic or silicon-based thermal paste, metal-based thermal paste reduces thermal resistance better and improve GPU or CPU cooling. Next is the liquid metal-based thermal paste, which instead of using metal powders, it instead uses liquid metal alloys, commonly composed of a eutectic alloy composed of gallium for its low melting point of about 29.8 degrees Celsius, indium to enhance the fluidity, and finally tin to add stability to the thermal paste and lower its melting point. Since gallium and aluminum, if mixed, can cause corrosion, the liquid metal-based thermal paste must be used with copper or nickel-plated heatsinks. The next type of thermal paste is ceramic-based thermal paste, which was developed as a safer alternative to metal-based thermal paste because its properties cause it to be non-electrically conductive while still having decent thermal conductivity, thereby removing any chance of short circuits happening. The main materials used in ceramic-based thermal paste are aluminum oxide and zinc oxide, both of which have good thermal conductivity. However, their performance is still lower compared to metal and liquid metal-based pastes. For example, a pure aluminum oxide has a thermal conductivity of around 30 to 35 watts per meter Kelvin. But when mixed into paste, its thermal conductivity drops to approximately 1 to 5 watts per meter Kelvin. On the other hand, liquid gallium from the liquid-based thermal paste alone ranges from 30.2 to 47 watts per meter Kelvin, and when mixed with tin and indium, it can reach over 70 watts per meter Kelvin. Now, the next type of thermal paste is carbon-based thermal paste. The main components consist of graphene and carbon nanotubes. A fun fact is with pure graphene alone, if in an ideal environment, can theoretically reach a thermal conductivity average of around 4,000. But since it is turned to paste, along with other materials mixed in to achieve a balance, A carbon-based thermal paste only has a thermal conductivity of around 10 to 25 watts per meter Kelvin. Next is the diamond-based thermal paste, with the main material being diamond powder with materials like graphite or ceramics. Though according to the picture, it has around 2000 to 2500 watts per meter Kelvin. That is only true if it is a pure diamond tested in an ideal environment. But in truth, if it is turned into a thermal paste, it will only have about an average of 15 to 30 watts per meter Kelvin. Last is the silicon-based thermal paste. The main materials used are silicon oil or silicon gel, mixed with materials like zinc oxide and aluminum oxide. Like with ceramic-based thermal paste, they both have the lowest thermal conductivity, with silicon-based having 2 to 5 watts per meter Kelvin. Now for the summary. Ceramic and silicon-based is the cheapest, but also the lowest performance. Metal-based thermal paste has a slightly higher price than the previous ones, but it is slightly conductive due to the materials used. Carbon-based thermal paste is next and is ideal for regular gamers. Second to last is diamond-based thermal paste, with a slightly higher price than carbon-based thermal paste, but with minimal improvements. Last is liquid metal-based thermal paste. It has the highest price among all the types of thermal paste, but also with the most significant improvements in the average thermal conductivity. It is only to be used for PCs like with heavy gamers for heavy gaming since it is considered to be overkill if used in a regular PC. Its cons include being electrically conductive since if it is strongly applied, it may cause damage to some parts of the PC and may even cause a short circuit. In conclusion, thermal paste is essential in the development of computers and laptops. Since CPUs and GPUs have a tendency to heat up quickly, the existence of cooling devices also become essential. But to be able to become truly efficient with cooling the hardware, thermal paste has been invented to ensure the efficiency of the heat transfer to maintain the CPUs and GPUs in safe temperature levels. And that's it for my oral presentation. Thank you for watching.